So I'm going to post the link to these $10 drops. It's going to be, I don't know how many tickets, maybe 15 tickets on each side, 15 buys, 15 sells, I'm not sure. And it's a hard risk of $10 per drop. And somebody's asking a question here about how do you know which vacuum area is going to be the reversal? If you say you don't know, then do you just have to have an account big enough to put more orders in at a higher vacuum and a higher sell limits to the highest amount your account can manage? Yeah, I guess that's true because you're going to have to take a hit. The same in the buy limits, more and more below. Or is it possible to know which vacuum is a reversal? Well, I guess it's constantly going on. So if you have a 3-minute chart, you could probably imagine there was zero spread. You could probably pick the areas and say, oh, look at this. Yeah. And is it worth it for you to trade those vibrations or those reversals within the larger reversal? So it's fractal situation. So if you look at the Williams fractal on the 5-minute chart, you switch gears and you go to the once you get to the weekly chart, you may not even see a fractal on the screen if it's a very smooth market and it doesn't have 5 bars where you have a peak of 1. The middle of 5 bars is a peak, or the middle of 5 bars is a valley. And what do you do with these peaks and valleys, right? So here I've got the $10 drops, and we're going to trade this account starting from, I got rid of all the robots on there, I think. I cleaned it out because the Ryan bot kind of destroyed the account. So we're down to $1,700. So imagine if you had $1,700. So I'm looking at, let's see what I got here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I got about 14 tickets here. So what I did was I made them all last a day. And somebody was asking about trading the no-nonsense end-of-day trades. But we can do all the trades for the next 24 hours. These are like 24-hour scripts, buys and sells. But the beauty of these tickets is that these tickets actually have a dual purpose. So when it says buy, it's literally a buy. Because if you drop this above prices, it's a buy stop. Below, it's a buy limit. So it just flips naturally between those two. With $1,600 in the account, every time I drop one of these, it's going to cost me $10 to find out if that's going to be a winning trade. So I did this because Mark Douglas, which I figured I got the drift of what he was saying, is that most people trade without any idea of what they're risking. They may say, oh, I'm put a 20 pip stop. Yeah, how big is that ticket again? Oh, it's 2% of my account. Right there, you just kind of blew up the whole idea of having security and kissing that just. So that's the exercise that we did was you write a check to yourself, or you write a check out for $150. So I was trading with $250 stops in soybeans. So let's check for $250 and just kind of accept that that's just gone. And now you can trade with a carefree state of mind. So state of mind, if you're analyzing the shit out of these markets, I think it's going to be a problem for me because I could analyze it till kingdom come. I could put a 618 on top of a Gartley and go, you know what? So I was watching, if you want to really get an education, just go to Forex Factory and just click on the first thing that's in a forum. And guys saying, I got the 618, but should I put a moving average on it just for confirmation? Is there a way I could cue this one trade up to be the most ultimate of ultimate trades? And what Mark Douglas is trying to explain to this guy who's this White Oak trading guy, is that, the outcome of each trade is God knows fucking what. Same thing if you ask Van Tharp, okay? He's a trading coach, psychology trading coach. He goes, you do just accept the fact that you're going to die, okay? You're fucking somebody with corona. I know she's hot. She's got corona up the ass, literally, okay? So, you have to accept this shit. So this lets you do it. This, to me, is the whole gateway. The whole point of the script is this I know my risk up front. $10. $10 a fucking drop. So how many of these can I drop before I blow up the account? So yeah, if they're crushing you into that, but you can also hedge on this, right? So I could put a buy stop. If I don't know where the market's going, I could put a buy stop above, a sell stop below, or just put it around where it's at right now. You could drop these inside the spread. Actually, they just turn into market orders at that point. I mean, if you're going to put a buy limit that lasts all day long, 5 pips deep, yeah, you're a bull. Is it going to make a difference? Oh, I'm waiting for an engulfing candle on a 3-second chart. Okay, dude, you're out of your fucking mind. What's the difference? Then just pull the trigger now. If you're waiting for that setup, if you want to go long the British pound and you're looking at it going, holy fuck, I'm just going to buy at the market. Why don't you just put a buy limit 10 pips deep and see if they fill you? Well, most people are going to, well, I'm not fucking want to miss out. I mean, I'm right here. I can see the setup. It's touching the 618. I'm just going to pull the trigger. Other guys are going to wait till they get the perfect. I was that guy because I couldn't afford to pull the trigger. $1,000 a trigger pull? This shit's fucking $10 a trigger pull? Dude, you couldn't trade unless you had about 50 grand. You couldn't trade commodities because you'd have to lose about 10 grand to make 20. Just so you could end up making 10. You'd have to. Not on this stuff. MT4 platform, I don't even give a fuck if the broker's trading against me and up my ass with Corona. I don't care. I'm making money. He could have his fees for deposit and withdrawal and all that shit. I don't care. You let me drive your car. People complain about the price of a rental car. Dude, you did not buy the car. You're renting it. Yeah, retail. Oh, okay, I want to trade like a big bank. My tickets aren't making it to the liquidity pool. It doesn't matter if you're trading in their sandbox. They're letting you. It's like going to the horse race, virtual horse racing. I mean, what the fuck? Well, I want to see a real horse bleeding. I don't know. Anyways, here it's like clean as fuck. You got the $10. Now here's the trick. Where's the vacuum? Where do I put the ticket? Well, you do have to mark it off. So let me trade this fucker. We're at 16.19. I stopped trading. I'm still publishing this account, but you kind of have to start from the 16 from this date. I don't know if you can pick that, but I'm just going to make a mental note here. 16.19. That's the age range. So I think we could trade like no nonsense here. So some guy blasted this guy who's inviting people to the no nonsense Discord. Dude, it's really entertaining. I got it, but it gives me anxiety. Because I just think, oh my God, this no-nonsense guy, he's like fucking Ron L. Hubbard to these people. They're caught at OT level 3.5 going, shit, should I start at OT level 2 and get a clean start? And I just feel bad about it. I mean, everybody has to go through this, right? Everybody reads the back of a magazine that says, the secret to trading, and you sign up for some fucking thing, you get that in the mail, then they give you like, well, here's a compass and a dull pencil. Here, don't you know? Have you heard of the logarithmic spiral? I mean, well, I should go grab the book from downstairs. I walk by it every day. I go get it downstairs. It's got the fucking logarithmic spiral. $50. Robert Fisher. $50. It's $1 a page. There's very little written on each page. It's kind of like the zen of trading. All right, so you can make all sorts of things here, but with $1,600 in the account, I think I'll risk $200. So they give me 10 buys and 10 sells. How much would you risk per day? So here's the big question. And since it's a $10 risk, it doesn't mean it's a 10 pip stop. These aren't one. I mean, this isn't a. I only want to have is like. I went from 100 pips all the way down to 13 is my tightest stop. So 13 pip stop, trading an 8K. And now there is no spread and no commissions in these numbers. These are idealistic. At the right is the actual dollar amount in idealistic terms. So you're going to have to shave about 10% off that to be realistic. So say I want to trade with 100 pips stops. So I want to go to the top and go to the sissy gear here and just be like, I'm trading fucking 1Ks with 100 pips stop. Check it out. I'm a fundamental trader. You're risking 10 to make 10. Break even at the top. Next, we have the bad ratio, but this is going to be the high probability. That is the Ryan Brown trade. high probability. 100 pips stop to make 50. Yeah, let's do one of those. Are you up for it? Better than lottery tickets. This whole thing, if anybody's into like buying $10 lottery tickets, just convince them to get a fucking, of course on a tablet, I'm using a trackball to drop these because I have no precision. Like if I grab this with my finger on a tablet to try to drop it at a specific place, I get all pissed off, and I don't have the close order. There's a close order script. I don't know where it's at, but you can drop it near the tickets. It'll pluck off whatever ticket you're near, because you really are risking $10. This isn't like the scripts I wrote. I'm risking like $3 on one ticket inside of a bank, so there might be a $10 risk because there's three Ks in there, right? All with $3 stops. When I double click it on my tablet, it's throwing in an array, but that's a different style of trading than this. This is very precision, thoughtful. At the end of the day, you could get out a beer or like whatever you're, some meth or some, what is the latest, mollies or something, and you can sit down and you can plan out your trades, right? And you can pluck them off. You don't like it, you double click on it and you say delete ticket. I think you can double click on it, or you can you might have to I think you just double click on the ticket. You have that choice to delete. We'll try it. I don't usually have that because I can just go on the platform and pull it off. I usually don't pull them off. I'm kind of like just loading up 80Ks in there hoping they'll fill it. Now, when they rip through that shit, yeah, they're stopping you out of some of your tickets. Here, you would know, okay, $10. And actually, what you want to do here is, since you know with all confidence that you're only risking $10 per drop, it lets you off the hook. Now you can plan the trade from the standpoint of, is a 13 pip stop acceptable to make 50 pips? Can I really do that trade? Is there a trade like that on the chart? And that's risking $10 to make $40. That's a damn, look at this one. You're risking $10 to make, I'm sorry, is that right? Or is this a bigger risk? I might have fucked that up. No, you're risking 10 to make 80. That should, is that right? 8K? No. 10. Oh, yes. Oh, no. I guess I fucked that one up. So, like I said, I guess I'm not selling this shit because I guess I got the wrong $10. Yeah. So this one's wrong. I have to change the size of that, don't I? Oh, no, it's the same. No, that's right. I'm confused because I'm looking at the 100. Okay, so these are 13 stops. You really got to say to yourself, this is a 10 pip grid, and the big black lines are the 100 pip grid. So say I want to buy here. All right, you know what? Let's run a tight stop, and I can still take that off. I don't have to wait till it hits 40 either, but I know that in all the certainty in the world that I have a $10 risk. How much room am I going to give it? And if that's a tight stop, I could put below it. I guess you got to think about this like a chess game, but you don't have control. You can't intimidate the other player, but it's like, okay, I'm going to move here, and if they come over here, I could capture them with these limits or stops. Now the stops a little bit like, you know what? I'm just going to put a limit in. If I think that's, I'm not looking for confirmation trades on this, honestly. I'd rather even put a buy limit down here and a sell limit up there. I don't know. It's kind of debatable. It's up to you, because if you want to take out this 4-hour bar, you could literally we'll just do it. So here, I'll do the Goober trade. Could be a buy stop. That's a buy stop. I mean, fuck. Don't you want to buy now? No, I want to make sure it's going up. I can't tell you how many people are going to say that to you. I was always told, put a buy. Okay, great. We'll do a Goober trade. Now we'll do a non-Goober. I'm going to go for the bad risk trade. I'm trying to make 50 pips with a 100 pip stop, and I'm going to make this one a Gooberlicious, just above. Okay. And then I'm going to risk, so I'm up $20 risk right now. Boom. Now I'm going to go for the big kahuna winner, and I'm going to say, you know what? If they ever take it down here and stop hunt this guy, I want his stop. I'm going to buy it on a limit, and I'm $30 risk in. I've got $1,600 in the account, so I'm cutting into about, what do you think that is percentage-wise? Okay, so I'm willing to risk about $300 which is about 20% of the account. I don't think that's very risky because I'm talking about $300. I don't know what, see, I never know when people say, well, if I do that, I have to put money in the account. Yeah, but how much you planning on risking on these trades? Like, so we could trade like fucking 20 currency pairs like gooberliciously because we have a 100 pip stop available at the top. The very top is, I guess if you don't, because you could build a position as the market's pulling back, you're buying however you place these tickets. I'm just placing them here because I want a guaranteed fill on at least $40 at risk. So I'm going to put a tight stop in here. Now this is a 4K. I'm going to have a 25 pip stop. I'll put it down here. And I'm going to put a 34 pip stop here. And this is a risk 34 to make 50. Not the greatest ratio, but a higher probability exit. And I would just say if these were weekly orders, but I guess why bother, right? Because every day you come home, you see how it did, you see what filled, you see what didn't. Looks like they just filled me, right? So I just got filled on that buy stop because I put it so close. I'm sorry, the buy limit, I put it so close, they just filled me. Now the spread is like just under a pip. Oh, I'm sorry. God damn it, I got one of these robots running in the background. Damn it, I know I didn't do that fucking trade. I got to turn this file. I don't know where this shit came from. I thought I cleaned up all these charts. I got this Ryan bot in here fucking up my seminar, my symposium. Okay, so I got that 1K pending. This is the buy stop, which is a shit entry, but it's $10 risk, so we're off the hook. We know exactly how much. If everything goes totally wrong, okay, you're down $50. Gotcha. Now, if that bothers you, yes, that's where you'd have to focus. Okay, then if you don't like it, pull those tickets off. If you want to trade pure limits all the way down, I must have added some charts in here. Okay. Yeah, I got to take this shit off here. Robots are running in the background on me. Haunted by the Ryan bot. Okay, let's get a load this fucking template that I know is not got a bot in it. Okay, so let's see more of those shenanigans. Now here, let's go trade this. Speaking of the pound. Okay, so here, the pound. How do I want to do it? Well, you know what? I mean, let's not talk about the past because we can't do anything about that. So let's just get in here and go for an aggressive. Okay, I'm going to buy. I'm placing it right here. The beauty of this, you can place it right in the basement, right? You know you want to buy there because of this reason is why you're buying there. And I want to buy there again with a 50 pip stop at the next basement. And the market's telling me where to place the orders, right? So here's the deepest vacuum. And I'm saying that, okay, you're risking, and we want to buy this vacuum too. It's going to cost us $10 a drop. Let's be conservative and only buy the vacuum. So we may not get filled though. See, here's about being too conservative, right? So I'm placing them at all the key wicks, and if I wanted to kind of double up a little bit, that's $10. Now, you almost have to say, God, those could last all week. Look how deep that is. Yeah, I mean, really, you're probably going to, at some point, just be like, yeah, just throw a fucking grid in there. I mean, I don't know, because really this is, each has a unique exit if you don't keep dropping the same script. I'm presupposing, but here you are saying, okay, I can handle a 50 pip stop. Markets are volatile, and maybe you have to write one that says 150 pip, and now you got to go either to a nano account to keep $10 risk, or you got to say hey, it's a $15 drop, or you have a $15 drops window. Everything's a $15 drop. This allows you to run 150 pip stop at a 1K and to dial it all the way down. Once you give yourselves $15 of risk, now you can write a script that has a 15 pip stop or a 20 pip stop, and you get the size just right for that one thing. Now, it may seem like, well, that's a lot of work, but if all these cash out, you're talking about $300. If I drop, right, so if I drop 10 of these, I'm risking $100. 30 of these, $300. I would say 30 of these tickets with a $1,600 account. Does that sound like what's the chances we lose on every ticket? And if we actually expose ourselves to $300 per day, what's the chances we get filled on every ticket? It blows up every ticket. It's just not possible. You could have traded this. Let me put the right. Make sure I get the right grid up here. Okay, so that's 10 pip. That's a 10 pip grid on top of the big round, and the volatility is really on fire. See, this is another thing to consider is that. Say you did put the, okay, this is 4-hour chart, and I think that if I was trading this thing, it's painfully obvious that I would buy into this haul, right? So you probably blew those tickets up unless you used the 100 pip stop, and the 150 pip stop would allow that ticket to finally become a winner. Now, it may be tough to take a $15 drawdown per ticket on a 1K. But think about it. I mean, if you're honestly going to go, if this guy really is inviting somebody to no nonsense, I can out nonsense no nonsense just on this single drop alone. So from here on, I can open a fresh account with $1,000 or 2,000. I can set up a demo at 2,000. How to turn 2,000 into 3,000 in a month, right? You should be able to do it every fucking day. You drop a ticket. If you could put 30 tickets, which is way more than that's $10. If you could put $300 of risk on every day off of different currency pairs, see, oh, look, it came back to the floor. I mean, it's not at my target, my juicy target, but you know what? I'm up $50. I'm getting out. It's fine. It's going to be okay. You don't have to trade. You don't have to scalp. You don't have to chase the market on a 5-minute chart. You really don't. I mean, the people that are going to trade like this style are going to make more money maybe than somebody that's saying, oh, I think it's going to move. Here, I'm buying right now. Like trading in the market is like every time you pull the trigger, this is completely strategically like a chess game planned out. You know that, oh, you know, there's an open hole here. Once the chess pieces start to evaporate, there's holes, you know, like you're down to just a few pieces. And your queen just like can move. I mean, those people were in the way. You know, those pawns were in the way. Like, you know, some of that is accepting that ticket loss because you know you have to absorb just like a bank does. Like this guy's talking about institutional trade. It doesn't matter what you think is going on the other side of this thing. The market doesn't even exist. So you're really saying, I'm willing to risk $200 a day. That's 20 tickets out of this. It could be buys, sells. They could all be stop entry. They could all be confirmation. Once they all fill, now what? There's a new problem. Do I manage these guys? Do I let them go to their targets? I don't know if you can let them go to their targets necessarily. But what if they go beyond their target? And you go, fuck, I got to write a script that makes risk 150 to make 150. Are you really going to do that trade? Do you know when to do that trade? Are you going to stack up enough of those tickets to make it worth your while? Risk $15 to make $15. You're probably going to have these tickets where the market only moves 50, but you had the $50 targets and the I don't think I have any shorter targets than 50 here. I just got 50 to 100 targets actually. So these are good ratios. You know, risk $10 to make 30, so a 34 pip stop to make 100 pips on a 3K. So it took me time to do this shit, so I'm giving this away. But this is the way to start because this is like more like Lego. You can do this shit. You don't have to. Yeah, they might blow those out, but dude, you knew it going in when you dropped that bank of 50 tickets worth $50. So when you speak in terms of a hard risk like this, it's so easy just to think, you know, I'm okay losing $20 today to make 40. It's okay. I'm going to be okay. I got 2 tickets running in the market. It's just beautiful. It's like scratch and win shit. The odds blow it away. Of course, you know, like, say you're going to buy 5 price handles. One's a fib, one's a Gartley, one's a fucking, I don't know. And you just go, you know what? We're just buying below. I would say the best way to start the game is just to buy below. It doesn't even matter if there's a vacuum. Just go, you know what? If it drops 5 pips, there's a vacuum on the 5-second chart. Check it out. Certainly the bigger the vacuum and the reversal, how long is it going to take to reverse? So like you could say here, there's nothing you could say because I can show everything could be proven wrong. As soon as you say it, I'll show you how it doesn't work. What if I said, well, it should reverse right here, because this is like the deepest vacuum, like I'm so sure. But what is the really deepest vacuum is right there. It's hard to believe that this thing went like 5 pips lower. Okay, did you wait for that? No, I'm not waiting for that, because I don't know if that's going to ever make it there. It may never make it there. It didn't make it to this one. This is a deeper vacuum. Trust me, once it got below here, there was a feeding frenzy. How can you tell? Look at the price. Action. Past action. It came down. These people gobbled it up and dumped it into the floor. They dumped it out of the floor there. They got the fuck out there. Like, yeah, I just made like fucking 40 pips. You didn't even have to be there. So the people that place those tickets on the dollar Swiss, it doesn't matter what currency it is either. So this also frees you up from, now you can trade all these currency pairs that no nonsense goobers trade. But these are trade plans. What he has gives you nothing. He gives you bullshit. Well, this is the baseline. He doesn't think that auction trading. This is a true auction market. You go below here, it's ridiculous prices. You ever seen an auction? People are like, dude, that price? Fuck, I'll buy it. I mean, when they bid it down so hard into this thing. What do you think happened back here? Same story, right? Once they take out that wick, look at the feeding frenzy. Your scalps would have already paid out. Now, you may have to reduce your targets here, because unless you babysit that, you ain't going to get out. You got to know it's vacuum to vacuum, wick to wick. There's vacuums all, I mean, this top, can't you see coming in? But you say, oh, but yeah, which one do I do? Well, they're all over the fucking place. Look at that. It just keeps on tagging in, ripping back. It just keeps on stop hunting people. I mean, for people that have trailing stops in the market, it keeps fucking them up. Like, I can't make any money. They keep stopping me out. Look, this thing's up here, and they already fucking stop. I moved my stop like I was told to do. Like, I wear a mask when I go to the store. I saw this video of this chick with a hole cut in the nose and the mouth, and the guy goes, "Where'd you get that?" She goes, "Oh, I just made it myself. It's easier to breathe." The mask thing, dude. I got one in my pocket so they don't haul me off to the fucking gulag. Here's a topic on the bottom now. We could have placed buy limits right there. Dude, this is so easy. It's so easy. It's so easy with these drops. It forces you to trade with $10 of risk. Now, you can make them 5. You can make them 15. You make them 15. Now, you have more money in the account. I can risk $15 to make $150 or whatever it is. $150, right? So, it'd be an amazing trade. But here you could go, I risk $15 to make, what would be the correlation? My highest winner here is like $80. So you can make $120 with a $15 risk. So that would put your target at about, you could run a wider stop here on an 8K, and you could just move your target up, so you'd make like $100. $15 risk. Or no, you keep that same. You could widen it on, change the size. And this is another thing is that if these are all 1Ks, you can see how it'd be kind of tough, right? Because you'd be like, holy shit, I'm getting tendonitis dropping all these tickets. So you have to figure out, I'm using this as 1K is the maximum trade. Now, the more precision trades, the tighter stops. And here's a nice one. Risk $10 to make $60. Who doesn't want that trade? This is more realistic. Risk 20 pips stop, a 5K, and I'm going to risk 10. I'm risking $10 to make $25, right? This is a very conservative milquetoast trade, right? And we could probably do that. And if I pick the sell version of that, and I put that up on the top, so where am I going to put the trades here tonight? On the sell side, let's look at just that one particular trade plan. 20 pips stop to make 50. We may not make the 50, but let's just do it. We'll put it right here, risking $10. And maybe I'll let the count go flat, and I'll put the next one up here. So that if they blow me out of that $10, I'll sell up there. Now, if there was like $20,000 in the account, I might put a 40K, just double click on my tablet and just rifle up a bunch of tickets in a big cluster fuck up there. and write a script like that just has like a linear weighted. I mean, it just martingales in. It's got a 40K up at the top. It's just a predetermined custom script, and it's logarithmic, Fibonacci, istic, all that, and it just, there you go. Now, in addition to this, you could trade at the market, but you can use these drops like market orders. So if you put it really close, you're like, yeah, we're probably going to get it filled. Or I would say, let's buy. What if this isn't done going? What if we see the vacuum below? What if it drops? Let's buy the vacuum below. So where's the vacuum below? Anything below this, we know there's buyers. You can tell me supply demand zones all day long. The demand zone gets really heated up here. There's a lot more buyers here, and you're looking for the lowest lows going back. Tons of buyers there and tons of buyers here, but that's the 4-hour chart. And we know that there'll be sellers galore up here. So if you want to rewrite these scripts, you could trade, you could just, what you do is open this up, modify. Pretty simple to edit. And what you're going to do is, and this will run on a 4-digit broker too. I think it flips. This is the original script that I found that has a timestamp in it. So this script's about almost 10 years old, I think. 9 years old, and I just it's a core simple drop system, which this way you can keep track. You know your risk all day long. Every ticket you count on your platform is $10. You know what you've got out there, and if you don't like it, you just close them all, start over. Just close all open and pendings. The broker's not going to charge you. He's not going to get mad at you when you call him up and go, well, you just click him. He's not going to say, what the fuck, you keep moving these tickets. Okay, so here's the how long they're going to last. Now you can put H12 in there. You can put H6, H4, 3, 2, 1, M30, M15. And that's going to determine the decay time. Here's your stop. Here's your size. I'm sorry, here's your slippage. It's the tree. I don't know what the fuck that means. I've never touched it. This is the size. So I had to do the math on here to come up with $3 roughly. I mean, roughly $10 a risk to make that. And then when you save it, you save as. I typically will save as, take something, save as, and then match the name. Make sure I get the name matching this. I write the script to the name after I save as. And that's it. You can write this tight as hell. You could put in a stop loss. You could buy a 10K with a 10 pip stop. I just don't think I'm going to do that a lot. I'd rather put in a couple of these and come up with 10K. So you may want to just write 3Ks and a whole array of 3Ks and just trade 3Ks exclusively. And then the problem is now you have different dollar risks. So better to figure out, okay, $10 risk, I can handle that, and just engineer it from there. Because every time you drop one of these by hand, you're creating a unique array that's not even, you're writing it on the spot. Whereas if it's a hard written double click script that I run typically on a tablet where I'm trolling the market for 15 minutes to a half an hour with limits that disappear every half an hour, because I'm like, I don't want to expose myself to $80 of risk for the next 3 hours when I can do it every hour, and it's going to be more likely to make $40 risking 80 or risking 80 to make 80, because these are going to be dense orders that are like, okay, it just picked up a 30K, a 50K, and only dropped 28 pips, and I'm in 100K. It's got to retrace within that. I know there's scalps built in because I wrote them in. But this system here, you'd have to say, okay, you know what? I got filled on that, and we made it back to the floor. I'm going to go flat, come in. I made enough money. I can come in with tight limits now. So at the end of the day, if you're not going to babysit this thing, you are kind of, okay, you might be missing out on getting out of something. But that's just the price you pay. Plus, you might get out of something too early. So if you do put your orders in every night and you never check them, okay, you don't at lunchtime look at them or whatever. Because if you're going to look at the window, say you wake up at 6 in the morning or something, and you're going to have 2 hours to look at the market, and you move stuff around, I mean, you should be able to. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to look at your tablet while driving. I mean, you kind of have to say, okay, if I'm up, or maybe you glance at it and close all winning positions, just to lighten up the account. Like if you just feel like, oh, you know what, I'm up, that's great. Let me just go flat here, because you can't write a script for every situation. So maybe you're gonna have to write some scripts that are like, I'm gonna risk $10 to make $5, and I don't have a lot of those in here. Here's one: 100 pips stop to make 50 pips. But you might want to write one that's like, I'll risk 25 pips to make 15. I don't have that written in here, but you're going to have to do that at some point, because you're never going to be able to. If the market turns around and reverses, what if it's not done reversing? What if it has to dip lower? So how low do you think this? Nobody knows. If you know, you're kidding yourself, because if you think you know that this is going to reverse, as soon as we took out this low, it's 4-hour chart, so we took out the low of the week. We took out the low of last week. Right, this is last week's low. When we took out last week's low, people came in and bought like crazy, right? This is what they do. Well, buy like crazy, you just run out of sellers, right? Who's selling into this resistance or these deep lows? The last guy to sell this breakout here, he's like, dude, it just broke out a confirmation breakout here, right? He's getting trapped. He's selling into that? Gotta be crazy. Even this ticket up here, if I have 150 pips stop, right? So think about $15. Maybe you want to rewrite these scripts, but or just put two 100s in there, risk 200 pips. But you got to decide: are you going to start selling up here? You should. If you think that this is supply demand zone, or there's a fib up here, yeah, put $100 of risk up there. 10 tickets all the way up. And the same here, 10 tickets all the way down. Just walk away. See what happens. So granted, if you put 16, you put too many tickets in here, you're going to blow up the account. I mean, you're going to blow up the account. You might, right? At least you're saying, hey man, kind of hard to rebuild a $1,600 account off of like 3 tickets. So you got to get that right. Don't you have to get that? That has to be right on. Undeniable things you got to get right. Okay, so here's that CAD yen falling through the floor. I think the yen was destined to fall through the floor. I don't know if it did. Let me take a look. That's where I left off last night, was that yen crashing to the floor. And the euro crashed to the floor too. So let's see, I bought into the euro here. So I went long the euro here on the swing trade. So the swing trade takes a lot more time. So I'm trying to double this account. This is the $1,000 account. I mean, pretty heavy. Almost a $500,000 position right now in euro. So let me, I got an EA running here. Let me turn this thing off. So take a look at this thing. Hope I killed it in time. Don't see any pendings. All right. So a lot of these things. Oh shit. Well, gotta refresh that, I think, to pick up the grid. Okay. Yeah, yen freaks out the grid a little bit. So look at this thing melting down. This is pretty horrific. Looks like it's just going to keep tanking and melting down. Now this is one of the, we could buy this, we could catch a falling knife here too. So here it's obvious what to do. For me at least, I'll buy that. I'll buy that down here. And, I'm going to put it right there on that support area. Boom. Now I'm going to put the, so this is a conservative trade. I risk 20 pips to make, and since I don't have any structure here to really put it on, I'm just going to start laying them in. There's $10. And if they stop me out of that one, or do I want to double up a couple within that, right? So another thing is you want to fix the scale, because all that you're trying to do is figure out how tight a stop you're going to run. So all you don't really care about the left side of that chart or any of that bullshit. I mean, it just doesn't matter. At this point, I'm just looking at this saying, okay, this is a daily chart. Could we drop down here tonight? Can I catch a falling knife? Let's run a 34 pip stop. So I'll buy in between these guys here. Another 34 pip stop to make 50. Maybe they stop me out of something. I'll give it a nice 50 pip stop here to make 100. And another 50 to make 50. Let's see what happens. So 16.19 on the account. Same thing here. Let's put some of these guys in. Just and this could be your journal too, because this is showing you all the trades you placed, and you got to fix the scale here too. Unfortunately, you cannot save a template that has a fixed scale. You have to fix it after you load the template. But here you can see, does this trade make sense, right? So yeah, I like it. So here, I'll put another one in. Let's not duplicate the entries. And I'll put more down here, more tickets. Okay, I think we're good on that one. Following, I'd buy that if I had the ticket ready. Okay, the guppy, let me put up this template. Oh, I'll just stretch this out. This template's fine. Go to common, fix the scale, because we're just trying to make pips, you know. I don't really care about like Garleys and stuff. I can't imagine. Oh, that's the wrong grid. I want to look at the 10 pip grid. This is a 100 pip grid, so it's all right. I'm just looking at these 25 pip stop right there. I'm just putting it there. 34 pip stop. Let's get in here. Here, we'll put an order in there. And here, I'm just going to put them in between. So there's $50 risk on that. This one, let's put some risk on this one too. So I'm just buying below. Boy, this thing looks like the yen is just the yen's killing everybody. Look at that thing. Oof. Wow. Man, what's going to happen here? Oh my God. Look at this going off a cliff on this thing. Boy, that daily. Okay, so let's put some 100 pip stops here. And I'll just put in a total goober trade. Let's get 2K going there. If they start stopping me out, and then I'll put dense orders in here. And I did this once years ago, and I didn't get filled the whole week. I thought, wow, you really, man, you're conservative. You're hardly going to get filled. I know I'll get filled on something here because I put the tickets in on the, look at this thing, 100 pip rip on that. Okay, let's just put them right here. I don't think we're going to get filled, but. So another thing is, I don't think it should take you more than 2 seconds to look at a chart and just lay them in there. It should be instantaneous. The beauty of this kind of trading, you just look at it, you go, oh yeah, we're buying that. Like this is the euro versus the pound. I'll be like, dude, we're buying here, we're buying there, we're buying those wicks. Okay, next problem. Let's sell up here. Let's sell up here, and we'll sell midway. And we'll sell here just because. Just dumb shit trades. I mean, we got $60 of risk there. Of course, if they fill both, we'd be locked into a winning hedge. Okay. So this one I know I'm going to get filled on something because I put that buy stop way the fuck. I may not get filled. What am I talking about? That's the beauty of confirmation. Unless they could take it up there, I'm never getting filled. I'm going to use this 25 pip stop here to make 50. And a 20 pip stop to make 50. And this is going to be my really tight stop. And there's another one. So quite a bit of risk on this one. All right. I'll actually, what the fuck? Let's just buy this all the way down. And I'll put a 100 pip stop on this one. Here is a 20 pip stop to make 50. And so tomorrow's going to be a real risky day here for the euro. I guess an exposure, I would say, kind of risk. Yeah, we'll put a couple down there. So there you go. I mean, I don't like this buy stop up here, so I'm going to have to get rid of that, I'm afraid. Yeah, I really can't handle that ticket there. It's making me crazy. Buy stop. So I'll come up here and go by price. I'd allow. Gotta get rid of that. It's just disturbing me. It's bad enough we're that close on that on that 1K. Okay, within 10 pips we see the flashing colors, which means within 10 pips are getting filled. So let me put one that's just above. So if that lasted for an hour and every hour the market moved, you moved it. You can't, it deleted itself. You put a new one in. That's a lot of work. So either use a tablet or have a robot place that. But this way, like I said, 1619. Let's see what happens. So those are set up for tomorrow. They last 24 hours. So by 7 o'clock tomorrow, they're going to delete themselves, and we reload it. One more day of trading. So you should be able to make. We should be able to make some money this week. And we know our risk is hard. We look at this thing. We're basically risking, how many tickets is in here? Right, $300. I'm going to say there's 30 tickets in there, right? $300 risk. 1619. Let's see what happens.